What's next?
All right, next up is from William Stryker. We really are in the final countdown to Avengers Endgame now, with it coming next week. Last year, you did a video breaking down the odds of who you think will die in Infinity War. Well, it's time for your predictions on who will no longer be alive and well at the end, alive and well at the end of Endgame. So tell us, who dies? Can't wait for Endgame.
Yeah, and we are, I guess I am 6 days away from seeing it. All of us late next week, we're all going to see it. We're right there. And yes, you're right. Last year, actually, it's funny. One of the most engaged videos we did last year going into Infinity War was our video talking about, okay, percentage of chance of who dies in Infinity War. We should have gone everybody. But anyway, so here we are again. I said I would do it again this year, so that's what we're going to do. Let's look at, I'm going to set out a chart here for the chances that some key characters are going to die. Now, there's going to be a number of characters we don't see here because either they're not major characters or we already know for 100% certain that they are going to survive or be at least alive at the end of Endgame. You know, we know WandaVision show is coming. We know Bucky and Falcon show is coming. You know, all that kind of stuff. So we're not putting them on, but we got all the major first run Avengers. We know Hawkeye has his own show coming. They just announced that. But so here we go. Here are how I'm going to break this down. And Rob, then I'm going to want to get your opinions on this. Leading the way in our Avengers Endgame Deadpool, Captain Rogers, Captain America himself, leads the way. I believe he is the most likely to die and be dead at the end of Endgame. By the time Endgame's final credits roll, the chances that he's not breathing anymore, I'm going to give a 47% chance. I think he's the highest chance. Of course, a lot has been made of the fact that Chris Evans, his contract is now up. Doesn't preclude him from signing another one because Robert Downey Jr.'s contract expired at one time too. And here he is. But anyway, so that on top of the fact that he's always been the one about sacrifice and all that kind of stuff, I believe that gets him the highest percentage chance of him expiring by the end of this movie at 47%. Next up is going to be Tony, the other guy who's been around since the beginning of the MCU. Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark, Iron Man. I give him the second highest chance of being dead at the end of this thing at 35%. Now, I put in Black Widow, and you might be saying, but John, we already know Black Widow movie's coming. Yes. The only reason I have Black Widow in here, and here's why I gave her a 5% chance of being dead at the end of this, is because what does Marvel do more than anything else? Fake deaths. I could see a 5%, very tiny, a 5% possibility that they kill off Black Widow in this movie. Her death triggers something in the team or in Hulk or whatever. And then, you know, Black Widow movie begins with her, of course, resurrection. Unlikely, yes, but I at least thought I should squeeze that in there at a 5%. Next up, another guy whose contract is up, Thor, Chris Hemsworth. I got him listed at a 25% chance of being dead by the time this movie ends. The reason I have him a little bit smaller of a chance than, say, Tony or Captain America is because Thor has never been more popular in the MCU than he is today. Thanks to Thor Ragnarok and the incredible role he played in Avengers Infinity War, I still think he definitely has one of the biggest chances of being dead at the end of this movie, but a slightly smaller one than Tony or Steve, so I got him at 25%. Also right up there is Hulk. I think there's a good chance that Hulk is dead at the end of this movie. I give him a 24% chance. Why would I think that? Well, a couple reasons. Number one, out of all the Disney Plus shows, he's certainly not mentioned in any of them. Number two, Disney's been in for a years-long battle with Universal over the distribution rights of Hulk, which is what has prevented Disney from being able to make Hulk movies. Disney can make Hulk movies if they want, but if they make a Hulk movie, Universal has the rights to distribute it, and they don't want to do that, so that's been basically handcuffing Disney, so they haven't been wanting to make one, so I can see them just doing, yeah, you know what, screw it, let's kill Hulk. Likely, maybe not, but I think a strong possibility. I got him at 24%. Then I got Ant-Man. Now, this despite the fact that there has been talk about a third Ant-Man movie coming. Nothing's been made official. I kind of feel like Ant-Man, once this movie's done, I feel like Ant-Man has served his narrative purpose. I love the first Ant-Man movie. I quite enjoyed the second one. But I kind of feel like his narrative purpose in this series might be getting close to being played out. I think he'll play a big role in this movie, and a 20% chance that he's dead at the end. Then we come to Nebula. Nebula is kind of the one of these things is not like the others character, because all these are core Avengers characters, been around for a while. But she is now there, a part of it. She has suffered at the hands of Thanos. I can see some big tragic thing happening where she ultimately dies fighting Thanos. Anyway, I'm going to give her a 23% chance that she's dead at the end of this thing. And then even though I said Hawkeye's got his own series, again, I could see Marvel playing the fake death card once again. That at the end of this, Hawkeye dies, avenging his family, whatever. But then at the beginning of the next movie, they just resurrect him somehow, some way. I can see them doing that. So that's how I've got this playing out right now. 47% chance for Captain America, 35% chance for Iron Man, 5% for Black Widow, 25% for Thor, 24% for the Hulk, 20% for Ant-Man, 23% for Nebula, and a little 8% chance there for Hawkeye being dead at the end. Rob, I just broke that all down. What are the chances you're seeing of who may be alive and who may be dead?
Well, I think Captain America is probably the best bet, only because you've got two men that can step into his shoes, at least in the comics. Both Winter Soldier, both Bucky, and Sam Wilson could. They've all both accepted the mantle of Captain America in the past, and I think that basically after this Infinity Saga comes to a close, they have to start again. They have to do something new. They can't just keep playing the same beats. They've been doing it for a decade now. And I think what we're going to see is a contraction in the MCU, and we're going to start over and build up again with familiar characters and new ones to another Avengers movie. And I can see Steve Rogers bowing out, because then he becomes the symbol that the Avengers, they hold him up. He becomes their martyr, whatever, however you want to call it. I don't think Tony Stark's going to die. I think he's going to be the elder statesman that's going to go on and advise the Avengers. He'll drop the armor. He'll probably become a family man with Pepper. He'll become the consultant. But I don't think he's going to die. I think maybe Hulk. I think it's sound reasoning that you have there. Nebula, I don't think they'd kill her, because I think her relationship with Gamora is important. And if Gamora comes back, I think James Gunn is going to want to have those two characters to play with and see what they can do. We've never seen them as happy sisters together yet. It'd be nice to see Gamora and Nebula kick some ass together. I'd like to see that. I think we're going to keep Paul Rudd around, because everybody likes Paul Rudd. You don't want to kill Ant-Man. He's already Ant-Man. But
we all like Steve Rogers too. I mean, right?
Yeah, but you got to have a victory comes with sacrifice, and he's always been a man out of time. He shouldn't be where he is. He already sacrificed himself once to kill Red Skull, to defeat Hydra back in the day, and this is just death making its inevitable, relentless charge towards him. He was a man out of time, and it's his time. I mean, he got more time than he thought he was going to get. And I don't think.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this then. Let's go through each one of these characters. I want to get you to take an over-under on each one of my selections there. A greater chance that they're dead at the end, or less of a chance that they're dead at the end. So let's take a look at this. I got Steve Rogers at the highest at 47% chance he's dead at the end. Higher or lower chance?
Higher.
You're going to go higher on that. Tony Stark at 35% he's dead.
Lower.
Going to take under on that. Black Widow at just 5%.
Lower.
Even lower than 5. Okay, going to lower than 5. Thor at 25%.
Like you pointed out, I don't think he's going to die, because he's more popular than he's ever been, so I'm going to take under.
Under the 25%. All right. We got Hulk right now sitting at 24%.
I think Hulk, as we know him, perhaps higher.
Ooh, higher. Okay.
Yeah.
Scott Lang, Ant-Man.
Lower.
Lower on that. Nebula, 23%.
Lower.
And I'm curious to hear what you say about this one. Hawkeye at 8%.
He's got a show coming. I'm going to go lower on that.
So you're going to take the lower on that as well. All right, guys, listen, I want to know, what do you guys think about that particular chart? You go over or under any of those numbers. And is there somebody like, again, Okoye, not the most major character in there. You know, another character maybe I should have thrown in there? was War Machine. Because he has been around since Iron Man 1. That's one I maybe should have thrown in there. I'd probably set War Machine pretty high. I'd probably set War Machine at like almost a Thor number. I think I'd set War Machine at like a 25%, like pretty high. Would you go over or under that?
I don't know. They already crippled the poor guy. I think if Tony Stark retires, you keep Rhodey around so somebody's in a suit. You know?
Could be.
I think, and maybe... wouldn't it be cool if Ironheart, they bring in the Ironheart character, a younger girl that Rhodey can mentor her? I mean, after all, Rhodey is he's both an Iron Man and he's a soldier, so he can sort of accept the mantle of both Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, sort of, in a way.
Although some people have brought up, some of our viewers have brought up, though, if you want to have a big, deep, tragic moment for Tony Stark and you don't want to kill Pepper, Rhodey be a pretty one to do.
So I
don't know. That's going to be an interesting one, too.